Hello everyone. So last week we had our pivot breached, which was 23,869.60. So and we just barely crossed it. Nifty just breached it by a thin margin, but it was breached indeed. So now it raises few questions. First and foremost is whether the trend has really changed from downside to upside. So what I did yesterday and today, I went back to all my accounts from the most recent top to kind of see if there is a possibility of an alternative and if my accounts which I had in place still make sense. So what I did, I went back to this chart, and if you see, this is what my counts were. This was W, this is red, then X, then this was Y, X and Z. So basically this whole thing was a larger W for me, and this one was 3 wave. So I thought this is X of this whole W, and then Y should continue after this pullback to some level, and then Y should continue. But apparently that didn't happen, right? So now when I look at it, when I revisited this whole count, it seems that these new counts that I marked yesterday in orange, these make more sense. So this is W, this is X, and this whole thing was Y, this is X, and then this is Z. So basically the correction, the Z that we have been waiting for, that is already done. And this makes more sense, especially now, because first thing, this high is breached, this X high is breached. Secondly, Y is rarely the shortest, or one of the shorter waves. So if in my previous count, this red counts WXY was, this Y was smaller than W itself, right? So that was not really kind of very common occurrence. So but now if I consider these counts, the orange ones, WXY, then this case Y is the largest. My reasoning for taking WXY here was like this was 3X, then 3X, and then I could count 3 here in smaller time frame. So this was 3X, 3X, 3. So basically WXY, XZ. So structurally it made sense, but when I look at it now in the whole structure, these counts make more sense. And this whole thing, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is actually, I think I have marked them here as W, X, Y, X and Z, right? So first change in this corrective thing I am making is I'm removing the previous counts which I had here and replacing them with this new count, and I'm also removing this larger WXY till we have any evidence that this correction is indeed not over. Okay, so now we have WXYXZ, right? Another reason I was inclined to change this was I was looking at the broader market, Nifty 500, and that also has the similar setup. So here you can see more easily, the more kind of with more clarity, because there are no previous counts. So you can if I have look at it, I would simply say this is WXY, WXY, X and Z. Also, I think in one of the comments someone asked me what is WXY, XZ. So basically this is known as triple zigzag. In fact, that is one of the most complex corrections, right? So we have WXY, which is double zigzag. Zigzag is like ABC, which is 5, 3, 5, right? A is 5, B is 3, and C is 5. So in double zigzag, we have ABC, X, and another ABC, right? In triple zigzag, we have ABC, X, ABC, like ABC, X, ABC, X, ABC. So we have triple zigzags, right? So that is your WXY correction. And obviously, like though we call it triple zigzag, it doesn't really have to be a zigzag always, because 535 is the most common pattern, but it could actually be 333 and any combination of that. So but WXY XZ evolves in a long time frame. It takes its time, and kind of it's known as a complex correction, and it gets to a point where it's difficult to count them correctly. So but here you can see this is a clear 5 leg, and this 5 leg occurred after a clear impulse, as we have seen here in this case, and even in 500 we can see. So that's the reason after an impulse or after a motive wave we expect a corrective thing to happen, and that's where these counts make a lot of sense. So now this is one of the change on a larger level I am making. So now when I say this WXYXZ, this triple zigzag is done, so first question is, does it mean we are out of the woods now and correction is complete? So let's look at the big picture once more to answer that question. So this is the leg, this is the impulse, third wave, right? And this is the correction. So now this is wave 4. So wave 4 are typically 38.2%, 40%. So that's like their common territory, or they kind of go around the previous degree wave 4. So previous degree wave 4 low was here, which was, I would say, roughly 45% retracement. So I mean, technically speaking, this is sufficient, but if it does wants to do more, then we cannot say at this stage till we have further confirmation. So what we need to do, first thing, I'm removing this pivot because this is no more relevant. So first thing we have to do is, when we can say this correction is complete. So let's take this whole corrective moves retracement. So now the 61.8% retracement of this whole fall is at 24,545, right? So that's one area where we need to monitor, observe the price action, and if we see the price is failing to cross this and kind of reverses from there, then there might be a possibility that this WXYXZ is basically a larger W, and this move will be X, and then there will be a further Y. So for that to confirm, we need to see basically what happens at around this level. So as I mentioned in one of the previous videos, these levels are not absolute, these are zones basically. So it's not like 24,545 is the exact value. Basically we have to see around this area how the price behaves, right? So from there we will get some clues, and by then this up move also would have evolved further, so which would also give us some hints about how this move is proceeding, right? So that's the first thing. So at this stage, let's not worry about this level. So I'm keeping this retracement here for future reference, 24,545. But apart from this change, the markings of this, that Z is complete. That's all we have to worry about for now. And now let's go back to daily time frame. So this is where our Z is done. Let me remove this. So we are assuming tentatively our fourth is over, right? And here we took it as ABC. So since we are assuming this correction is potentially over, so we'll remove it ABC, and we will start treating it. I will also remove this 1A, 2B, as this is a potential 5-wave rise that we are seeing here. So to drill further down into it, this is how it looked. So we said this is A, this is B, and then this is C is going on. Within C we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then fifth is going on, right? So this move also, I have been thinking about it. Am I counting it correctly? So there is one alternative I could come up with, which makes me think that it's possible that this is already a 5-wave structure, right? So let me first mark it how I was marking it earlier. So doesn't matter. Okay, if I take, let's say, even if we take it's 1 or A, then this is 2 or B, and then this is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this fifth. So this would be a 3 or C, right? So that's what we have been following. This structure is what we have been following, right? So, but now if I think about it this way, that this is 1, this is 2, right? And what if this one is 3? And I can justify that very well, because this is 1, 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So because this could be an expanded flat, and this is fifth. So basically my 3 is actually here. So let me mark it in a different way. So 3C. What if 3 is here? Let me color it differently. So A, 1, 2, 3, and this is fourth is done here. If it is fourth, then basically we don't have to think about ABC anymore, because there is no fourth in ABC. So basically this is not even 3C, this is basically third, this is fourth, and we are already in wave 5. So we are already seeing a 5-wave structure, which we had been waiting for our confirmation. So if these counts are correct, which are technically correct, because even the previous counts are correct, and both the counts are correct, but in Elliott waves there can be alternatives, right? So there can be alternate waves of counting. So we have both these options, and given the way things have evolved, it makes more sense to consider this. If not outrightly say that these counts are correct, we have to consider this count as well, that it's a possibility that this is not third was done here. And we can even see from technicality perspective. So this was wave 1. So wave 3 equality was here. So wave third, this wave is also equal or like slightly larger than this wave A. So third is not the shortest. So from that technicality perspective, these counts are also correct, and I can count internally 5 waves within all of them, right? So basically that means we are currently in wave 4 of fifth, and once this is done, then only fifth of fifth will be remaining, and that will complete a 5-wave rise. And after that there will be obviously a retracement, which could be to the gap, and these gaps may not be filled. If the bullish view is basically playing out, then these gaps may not have to get filled, or who knows, like they might be filled and the price reverses from there. So we will see when it comes to that, but right now we have both these alternatives. So for the first change, this change is kind of confirmed, that these new counts are the valid counts now, W, X, Y, X, Z. So that is one confirmed change. And as for this rise, we have both the alternatives still open, and we will see how it evolves, and depending on that we can confirm which of these counts are actually playing out, right? So I think these are the two major changes that I am basically considering. in our counts, and from Monday onwards we have to see how this plays out. And the more I think about it, the more I feel that these new counts that I'm considering, even for this rise, they are more correct. Fifth might be complete here, and then so basically we will see a 5-wave rise here and retracement, and then another 5-wave rise on the upside, right? So that's the story. And do let me know if you have any doubts about what we discuss here in comments, and I would be happy to create a follow-up video, or like maybe if I can explain through the comments itself, I will try to do that. And that's the update, and thanks for watching this video. If you are liking what I'm doing, then do subscribe to the channel and please like the video. Thank you very much.